Hello, this is Jenny McKenna with McKenna Property Management. Today is, I believe, September 3rd. Am I correct on that? September 3rd, 2018?
Right.
I think it is.
It's the 4th.
Day after Labor Day. All right, we are at 3440 Summersprings, and I'm going to be telling you some things about this property that I'm seeing need to get done in order to get it in rent-ready condition. One thing I want to make sure of is that you, as the buyer, look at the inspection report and understand the things that need to be done on the inspection report, because what I'm walking you through has nothing to do with what's on the inspection report. What I'm doing is simply the cosmetic items that a tenant will be looking at that I want to make sure get addressed prior to the tenant putting an application in on the property. So the first thing we're going to look at is we have landscaping here in the front that has cigarette buds. It has some weeds that are growing. We've got some exposure of rock. We have some dead shrubs up against the house. I'd like this to just get kind of a once-over clean. We're not going to invest a lot of money in it. We're just cleaning it. We don't need to do much investing at this time. The driveway is going to get a power wash. We're also going to remove the Christmas tree lights. We don't really like houses that have Christmas tree lights up when it's the month of September. We want the outside of the garage doors to be painted. You can notice up close that they are starting to peel. The wood is really worn out, so we want that to look a little newer and fresher. So those are the few items that we need to do just here in the front. As we go up here, and remember, all these trees will be removed. Whatever we pull out of here, I do think we can leave the rose bush, but everything else will be pulled. We will put some of this red rock in so that it finishes this entry, so that when you walk up here, this looks really nice. You're going to see to the right that there is a gate there that needs to get fixed. So we will have that gate where it can actually open and shut without any problems. I believe it's off the hinges, and that needs to be addressed. We also want to put some red rock in this area as well. A little bit of a concern that this is wet. So if there is something here that is still an active bubbler, I'd like that to be capped off so that this just becomes an area of the additional rock. And we're going to be doing additional rock in the backyard. Since this is such an easy way to go into the backyard, let's do something different and let's come into the backyard now, and then we'll finish in the house. So here on this area, I love the fact that this is all concreted. That's going to be great. Here's our covered patio. We do have some personal belongings of the owners that they're going to remove. This barbecue cooker thing, this, I think it's like a spa doughboy, weight equipment, all of that's going to be gone. So assuming all of that is gone, what I really want to do is just make sure that I've got some rock along this back area. So we have a little bit that we can rake out and make even, but that's not going to be enough for the front yard and for this backyard. So we will be buying some rock, and we'll have to be laying that all out. Disclosure. Normally I always require weed protection, or what's called weed barrier, underneath rock. In this case, I don't think it's necessary. For all these years, you can see there's not a lot of weed growth. So in reality, we probably don't have any water situation where weeds are going to continue to grow up through the rocks. So we can save some money right now and just do rock in general. We are going to have to change out these light bulbs that are curly Q. Anytime you see a curly Q light bulb within the house or the outside of the house, John is going to make sure that he changes out and puts the appropriate type of light bulb into that particular light fixture. But other than that, the backyard is great. There are a little bit of weeds on that side that we need to pull, but it has the red rock there already. So other than that, your backyard is good. We won't need to do any landscaping enhancements during this time frame. As years go on, we may want to put a couple trees, maybe some shrubs up against that back wall. But because our market is so good for rentals, that spending money on something like that's probably not necessary at this time. So we're going to go ahead and walk inside the house now. One thing we always love is the security door. Security door where the person can be on this side, see clearly who's on the other side, and they can't see in. It also allows fresh air with the security option, so that's always nice. Once you step through here, you get this very neat feeling of upgrades. We've got a very upgraded flooring. This is a porcelain flooring, so it should maintain just fine, easy to clean. We're not sure if the window draperies are staying throughout the property, but we have checked and there are window treatments behind it. So all the blinds that are in the house will be staying. So if they stay, the window drapes stay, great. If they don't, no big deal. We've got the window coverings, which are the blinds. So in this particular room, there's not really a lot that needs to be done other than baseboard painting. And we're going to say baseboard install or baseboard painting throughout the whole house. So I'm not going to go through and point out every room that has baseboard that needs to be addressed. Just know throughout the whole house it either needs to be painted or installed. There's an alarm pad right here that we're going to remove, patch and paint up that area. There's a little motion sensor there. We're going to remove that. So anytime we are touching up paint, removing something, then that'll need to have a little bit of care to it so that it matches the rest of the wall. And there are some touch-up areas. In fact, the best one to look at is probably the one underneath the windows over there. I think that you'll be able to get that look. So see how it just wasn't quite the right tint? We're going to make sure that that is touched up so that it doesn't have that effect of not having the right tint to it. So through here, love the fact that we have a ceiling fan. This is the wow factor of this house. So you have an amazing kitchen. So this kitchen is drop dead gorgeous. There is a cabinet door that was supposed to be there. I actually like it open, and so then you can display wine glasses and goblets like they did. We are just going to be removing this. So this gets removed, this stays the way it is, works out perfect. You have some underlighting, you have this gorgeous backsplash, you have a very nice upgraded, I'm going to say some type of either granite or Corian countertop, but it's a solid piece. You have what I call a barn sink because it's just one big sink, stainless steel, with your sophisticated gooseneck faucet. But I mean, just great handles, upgraded air venting system for your very upgraded stove and range top, so ideal. Refrigerator over here that matches throughout for the stainless steel. In this room, this is our family room. This is a removable piece, so this is technically not a fireplace. This is just a piece that is purchased, so that will all go with the seller. So this room here is just big and spacious. People can put their furnishings in the way that they choose. There may be some touch-up that will need to happen in this room because of the big screen TV and some of the things that we're going to be taking off the walls. In this bathroom here, a few things. One, we've got some I don't know if it would be drywall repair or just some texturing that needs to happen on both sides, and that's for the sink area. We do have some damage that's been done to this door, back side and front side, so we're going to see if we can just shade this out and make it look good. If not, it may need a door removal. We also have behind this door, we have some texturing problems as well that need to get cleaned up. So a few things in this bathroom. This is our pantry, which is awesome because it's huge, but we have some finishing projects that need to be done in here too. On the previous video, I remember the seller saying that he just installed this mana block. So this mana block is great because we can turn off any plumbing fixture by itself without having to turn off the entire water to the house. So that's always nice. So we need to go in here and we need to do some cleanup on this. We also need to make sure that this light is attached correctly and that we don't have any open exposed ceilings in there. All right, so now we will head upstairs. Few things on the stairs. Anywhere that it is loose, I would like John to fix. So there's a couple places that just need maybe a little reattachment or just a little TLC, so we want to work on that. This area here, John's going to be able to get that smoothed out, and then he's going to make sure that this looks really good up against the wall. So we are not planning on putting any baseboards in there. That's just going to get cleaned up all the way up the stairs, and a few areas that aren't quite touching the wall, we're going to get those cleaned up as well. This stairwell is gorgeous. Love the iron rod look, but underneath it, this white part does need to get a touch-up paint. So we're gonna need to paint all of this white stuff so that that makes this stairwell pop. We come over here, we're missing bifold doors, which truthfully is perfectly okay with me because bifold doors, worst invention ever made in a house. So we're gonna get this track removed, anything down here that have any evidence of a bifold door, transition strip that goes right here. We're gonna put in a new washer dryer because this washer and dryer does not stay with the property. And then we should probably do some kind of cap on this, a box of some kind, John, or at least clean that up a little bit. I mean, I don't think that's that big of a deal, but it does look a little rough as it sits right there. Then as we go through here, we have a door that needs to be replaced. I decided not to put glides on these closet doors. I'm mentioning that just in case anybody says, why didn't Jenny put glides on there? These are working just fine. I really don't want to screw anything into this flooring. This flooring is a really nice laminate plank flooring. I don't know how well it would do by screwing some glides in. I'd rather just leave everything the way it's working right now. So we will not be installing any glides on the doors. So this room is great other than just the door. We just need to replace it. We have this room here. We're going to call this the shoe room. So in here, somebody has some really good taste on shoes, but we need to make this go back to a closet. So from a tenant rental world, this has to be a closet, which is going to maintain this shelf. We're going to put the bar across the top like it used to. We're going to put the closet doors on that match the other doors in the other bedrooms. And then we're going to get rid of all the additional shelving. And that's all we have to do. So pretty easy in here. That's really the only thing I saw that we need to worry about in there. In here, I think I can tell you that technically everything is good. Other than the baseboards being painted. And again, we're not talking about that in every room. That goes throughout the whole house. But in this room, everything else looks really good. So I think paint's good, ceiling fan's great, everything's awesome. Now we're going to come in here. Highly upgraded bathroom, but there's a few things that still need to be finished. We have a hole right here where they installed the new light fixture. That needs to get fixed. And then I'm just having John make sure that our drain actually works. So I'm a little worried that that is stripped and that's why it's out. But as long as it can go in and keep our water in the tub, that's all I care about. So he'll just check on that and make sure all that's good. But really that's the only thing that's in this bathroom. There will be some painting of these door frames. I don't know if your video can show it or not, but we really only got like one coat of white paint. It's very streaked. So when the rest of the house gets to look as good as it is, we're going to notice this much more. So we need to make sure that the doors as well as the baseboards are all a nice coat of white. So we turned on all the lights in here before we started videoing because this room is very dark. When you're living in a property and it's your own, you probably are okay with it dark. When it is a rental, it feels like a cave and people don't like living in it. So what I've asked John to do is he needs to remove this tint that are on these windows. So once we remove the tint on the windows, yes, it will produce more heat, which is unfortunate, but it will also create brightness in here. And brightness is what tenants want. So that will get to where this bedroom is much brighter than what you're experiencing right now. We have some smoke detectors that will need to be reinstalled. Again, missing baseboards. Door has a big hole in this one, so we'll probably be replacing it. So these are super cool. They're very modern. I feel like I'm at the Mirage. However, they are not practical from a rental standpoint. If we were to allow these to stay in this property and one of these were to stop working, we would have to replace it like for like. And I can't even imagine the price on this and the specialty and the kind of care that you have to take. So what we want to do is we want to replace both of these with just a nice, would it be silver or chrome?
Brushed nickel.
Okay, so it'll look like this, brushed nickel. So we would do brushed nickel, a little bit better than the standard. So it'll be a little higher neck. It'll have its two faucets right here, and then we'll match that for both of those. And what I told John is these can go back to Eric, and if you want it as the owner to put it somewhere in your cool house, you've got the parts for it. So There you go. We are going to clean this up a lot. This got sprayed. I was trying to think of putting in a new light fixture. If you are okay with the new light fixture, there are two suggestions. Obviously, just replacing one similar, or doing one above this mirror and one above this mirror, which would mean that we would have to do some electrical. Technically, your best option is one over each mirror. However, if that is not in the budget right now, we can just clean this up and leave this as the builder grade vanity mirror, or sorry, vanity light. Here is your closet in here. Good standard closet, nice and big, no issues there. We do have some damage done to these doors. John's going to do what he can to smooth them out. If he can get them smoothed out, great. If he can't, we're putting in new doors. We have some painting that needs to be done on this door. And we also have a toilet roll holder that needs to go in there. Okay? So that pretty much takes care of this room. We will show you this door that I sort of talked about briefly. And other than that, these are just a little linen closet. So it's not too thick, but it does give you enough to where you can put your towels and your linens in. Let's go down to the garage just real quickly, and then from there we will be done with this property. So in this garage, you're going to see that there are some walls that have been, I don't know, patched, stuccoed, whatever this would be, drywall, puttied, whatever. I don't care. We can leave them just like that. Doesn't matter to me. This is a garage. I don't even need to get it painted. It can look just as rough as we need. However, we will power wash the flooring in here. There is also, I don't know if you can get to it, but there is a soft water system over here. The soft water system should be removed. So this right here, even if it's working, should be removed. It's one of those things that if it breaks down, the tenants are going to require the owners to either repair it or replace it. It's an added cost that's not needed on a rental. Everything else seems to be fine. John had mentioned maybe we put a pan under here. I said not necessary. When this thing explodes, whenever it does, water will gush out the garage. Then we'll put a new water heater in, and then at that time we can put a pan in. So I think everything else on this is fine. So that is the house. Just a lot of little ticky-tack stuff, but overall I think it's great. And that's it for me.